Alright, I think this is going. I don't know. Alright. Let me get this all set up properly. Because I don't do that, surprisingly. Join immediately. Let's hippo. Nice, nice. I'll be starting in like 2 minutes, like actually doing these. I just wanted to get started before I forgot. That's my main reason for starting right now. Huh, wait, no, it showed me something and then instantly hit it. Okay, it said something about stream markers. I guess so if something happens, I can mark it. And then when I come back, I can find that moment. But that won't matter because I just download the whole stream and then find the moment in editing. I guess that would help to at least skip through the timeline. You've already started a new hunt? Nice. Did you get the Halucha? I think that's what you were hunting. Did you get the Halucha, or are you just doing something a bit different right now? Please take Trevenant. Screw you. Let's see. None of these look good. The grass looks good. I'll go for the grass. She started a different hunt because it's like do 2 hunts. Gotta go because geometry. So good luck. Your mom. Okay. Huh. Oh. I started thinking out times I plan to do streams. And while I don't know days yet, I know it's probably going to start being later. Although I might try and mix in some early ones, like 50-50. Because with my schedule, like the time it is right now, half of the days I'm going to be in classes will have me out and I can already be home by this time. So there are days I could very easily stream at this time. And then there are other days where I get out like an hour later. So like my classes would have just ended. And I would just now start becoming home. Now, for this exact moment, that works out, because in those days I can do a little bit and then stream. And then I can stream later too, so that means like the people who do stuff throughout the day as well, like go to school or whatever, they also have the ability to start catching things. Yeah, of course. I'll try to keep at least 1 or 2 a week for now, where you'll be able to reasonably show up and not have to like sleep deprive. I can't promise that every day, and in fact I do think the days where I'll be able to do that might be the less often day. Or is it the more often day? I don't know. Because it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday are the groupings for the classes. Can't remember if the Tuesday, Thursday is the shorter one because it's only 2 classes technically, or if Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the shorter one because I have the online class and then 2 shorter classes. I forget. You're already sleep deprived? Aren't we all? Yeah, I kind of want to start hitting like a wider audience. I'm gonna start doing some small changes over the next month or so, just to start see how things do, just see what changes lead to what results and all. So first thing I want to do, set up a stream schedule. Duh. Because how are people supposed to consistently show up if you don't really have a consistent time to stream? Stream. Second thing I'm gonna do soon probably is introduce the, so there's a new feature where you can actually set it up to do 2 streams at once. A vertical stream for people on mobile and shorts, and then horizontal for people on desktop and TV and stuff. If I can figure out how to set up the vertical one to properly display everything I need it to, then I might start doing those, because might help a bit. I don't know. I'll see how those perform. Videos, I plan to do compilations of my reactions, because I have the big projects I want to work on. And then I have the smaller stuff like shine reactions from streams that will like act as filler videos almost, just to have content in the downtime. And with those videos, I also plan to start making shorts out of them, just so that way, you know, there's like funneling people around to other videos. How would I describe my appearance? Human. Okay, well, my hair is currently dyed black. It's not actually black, but I have black hair right now. I'm white, I'm skinny. I'm a nerd because I have glasses half the time. Okay, to be fair, I do kind of cheat on the glasses thing, because I can see close up fine enough. It's just farther away things start to look very blurry. So like in my most recent video, the Pointless Grinds, when I did my live film segments for that, I actually didn't wear glasses because I didn't need them. I wasn't reading a script or anything. I was just talking. And I knew where the camera was, so I didn't, and I could obviously still see it. It's not like I'm completely blind. Thought I looked like a llama. Oh, yeah, see, common misconception. But anyways, I have changes for content that I want to start doing. Streams will be the same, hopefully. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of those different, other than the fact that I might be bringing on the short streams. I am going to test that in a private one, probably after today, or after this stream, just so I can make sure it is formatted correctly, or I at least have control over the formatting for it. So that way I might be able to start introducing that. Also, another thing which I'm really excited about, at some point in the future, I have a friend. It's actually the same friend who drew my profile picture because, fun fact, I did not steal that on the internet. That is actually a custom drawn profile picture by my friend. And then I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, I'm interested in perhaps getting professionally done thumbnail art so I don't have to keep throwing images together in paint. Would you be interested? And she's like, oh yeah, of course, I'd love to do that. And, you know, I'm gonna pay and everything. I'm not exploiting my friends for work. So at some point I'll consider doing a few, and I might try to phase it in so like maybe the larger videos get custom art and then the others just get what I normally do. Just because I want to see if having better done art is more enticing for viewers. I don't know. Anyways, do people often mistake you for male? Would you say you look female? People have called me all sorts of things. And I think it helps by what my friend told me one time, which was I have a very feminine face. Like, the features on my face, like, I was told, oh, I forgot to get Pokeballs. Yeah, I was told I forgot to get Pokeballs. No, I was told that my face actually looked very feminine a lot. So, like, if I really wanted to, I could pass as whatever I needed to. Which to me just sounds like I should use that to sneak into a place I don't belong. Not really. Yeah, people have gendered me as a whole bunch of different things. And I remember for Halloween this last year, we did we did section themes because it was for band. And like each section picked a theme and everyone in the section picked a costume around that. So my section's theme was Monsters. It was Monsters Inc. and University. I got stuck with Celia, the girl with the snakes in her hair or whatever. And because I was wearing a costume of a character that is a girl, pretty much everyone who passed by me was like, thank you, ma'am. I'm like, ah! Okay, so if you dress as a girl, people think you're a girl. Good to know. And it was funny, too, because a lot of these people as well were like the people you would typically see be like, trans people are unreal, they're not that. And it's like, okay, you just sat there and called someone who any other day of the week you would probably call sir a ma'am. Accidental ally. Anyways, have I considered using a face cam? I have, and I will at some point, just not anytime soon. Well, I say not anytime soon, that is relative. When I say that, that's not like tied to time as in like, well, it is actually, but like not really. Because like there's no like finite like at this specific point in time I will switch to having a face cam. It's more just whenever I feel comfortable. Like I've reached the point where I was already okay with showing my face in videos because I'm like, whatever. Because when I live film stuff on my 3DS, half the time you see my face in the reflection anyways. Like in my X playthrough, people actually called that out like the second they started watching. They're like, whoa, was that a face reveal through the 3DS screen? And I'm like, oh, just wait. Because later in the video, I just full-on did a face reveal because I'm like, you've already seen it. What harm does it do to just put my face here? Now, at some point I might do it. The only issue is right now I only have the one webcam. Which means if I set that up, either we get a face cam, or if I'm doing extra hunts, you get the extra hunt cam, because I only have the one camera. So if I'm doing extra hunts, those get priority. But then future hunts that might just not need that, like this, I would probably have the face cam on. Only issues I have against it right now are the fact that my room is a mess. Like, seriously, the camera view would not be great. That's really the only thing I got against it. Maybe someday if I clean it up. I mean, it's not too bad. As long as I don't angle it to where you can see the floor. Like, what you can see is passable as decent. The bed is a mess because I never make my bed. I could just do a green screen. But I'm not I'm not doing that because I don't think I can set one up actually. Because my poor design leaves like no room to hang a green screen like curtain or whatever up behind me. Or really put anything up behind me at all because it's just a constant wall of items. But yeah, I might in the future start using a face cam. Okay, those Master Balls are 100% hacked. I did not hack them in. I think I got them off of hacked shinies, which still makes them hacked. But I do not care. Unless I had this, because I have a adapter thing that lets you have like macros pre-built in and all. And I think one of the things it knows how to do is keep constantly doing the Rotom lottery or whatever. So I might have set that up to just run for a while. I don't know. Yeah, that's fair. That was definitely a struggle I went through at one point, because I was like, do I really feel this way, or do I just think I feel this way because I want to feel this way? You know, like, I thought about it, but I was like, at first I was like, no, I just think I'm thinking I want to feel this way. I don't actually want to feel this way. So I was like, no. Then like 2 months later, I'm like, yes. The thoughts came back. They've been here my whole life. I don't know why I'm not acting on it. Like, seriously, at what point of literally looking back at your childhood and realizing from, like, the second you had consciousness, you're always just thinking to yourself, huh, I wonder what it'd be like to be a girl. Huh, wonder what it would feel like to be able to like girl things without being judged. Buddy. Let me let you all listen. I would love. Do I think it? Probably not. Because, like, I haven't had any thoughts of going back. I'm perfectly content with where I am. Well, not where I am, like, there are things that would need to be taken care of first, but mentally. Also, Blade King, welcome. I bought a PSP. I'm really excited about that. My PS3 was Christmas. I bought that with Christmas money. The PSP is a treat to myself because I wanted one and I had the money, so I'm treating myself. It's healthy, I promise. But, like, the issue is the one I bought, it's working and everything, so, like, even if it doesn't work when I get it, like, I'm protected. I can get my money back and everything. But the issue is it was cheaper too because it's one of the tested and working, no battery and charger. So I had to buy a battery and charger on my own. And fortunately I learned there's an easy way to test all three at once to make sure I identified the correct flaw, which is great. Only issue now is I actually don't know if this PSP is going to come with the memory stick that they have. And it's not like a normal SD card or whatever. It's like its own specific storage unit. So I reached out to the seller. I was like, hey, just curious, is this going to come with the memory stick or do I need to get my own? Now, obviously, since it was a very specific thing, you can't just buy one. They don't make it anymore. because they don't make the PSP anymore. But apparently there are adapters that let you use SD cards instead. And apparently those are actually very reliable now. I swear I heard that they weren't reliable, but that might just be old information. I don't know. But I'm excited. It'll be nice to have. Ironically, can do things my 3DS can't. Aside from the obvious, oh yeah, it's a Sony PlayStation unit, like, of course the PSP is going to be able to do things a 3DS can't. But like, it just genuinely does more, like, especially videos. I know the 3DS can play videos, but it's a whole process to make a video file run on it properly. And I tried it following step-by-step guides. It did not work. It just crashes my 3DS if I open it. Get a load of that genius. I have something good. I want to swap it. Has anyone been biphobic or transphobic in any kind of discrimination? Yes, actually, now that I am currently home alone right now, because it is work week and whatnot, I can actually answer this. Parents. Family, actually. Family is the biggest issue, unfortunately. And unfortunately, where I am, just in my current stage of life, I don't really have any option to not be with family. Like, I'm quite literally forced to live with my parents, or on the side of the road. So, you're doing a Pheromosa raid? Nice. Good luck on that. It sucks, but it's whatever. And I think that was also, like, the biggest, like, scary moment. Yeah, see, I would have been fine, but family was home. And the walls in this house, I don't know what they did when they made this house, but they did not make it right. So much about this house, like, the house I'm living in, like, we bought it new. Like, we moved in, like, the second it was done being constructed. That's how new it was. But, like, the plumbing has been iffy. The walls are paper thin. Like, I'm not even kidding. At the volume I'm talking at right now, despite the fact that my door is closed and we have other things going, you could probably hear me downstairs at the front door, which is on the other side of the house. Yeah, that was actually one of my biggest fears when I first did a video where I was actually, like, full on in it. It was like, oh gosh, what are the odds that somehow, some way, one of these videos that has me actually in it gets pushed out to a family member and they watch it and then they see me in it and they're like, okay, what are you doing? Gosh, I need to get a cough drop or something if I'm gonna keep coughing like this. So yeah, I'm hoping I can keep this whole little operation fairly hidden. At least for the next few years, because, like, once I move out, I'm on my own, I'm free, I can do whatever the heck I want. Okay, so I only know one person my family actually knows, and that's my mom, because she was the person I told. And she did not take it well, so I was like, okay. So I just I didn't do anything else. I'm like, okay, sure. And then the reason why I'm keeping it secret is because she does not agree with it. She does not like it, from what I've seen. So it's like, fine. She will not leave me alone. Constantly bothers me about it if I try to keep it up. And she will not let me do a lot of the things I'd want to do. So I was just like, fine, screw it. I'll just keep this living in secret, and I'll just pretend for you. Sure. But I actually don't know exactly. This is the fun part. I don't know if I'm being delusional or not, and there's no way to know until later. She is very Christian. That's unfortunate thing number one. Basically, my entire mom's side of the family is extremely Christian. So, not really born into the best family. I mean, not saying they're bad families, just on that side of things. I was definitely not born into the right thing. Oh, I didn't even win the first one. Unfortunately. No. 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 But see, here's what I'm thinking. She definitely seems more loose on it than the rest of my family. So, like, if you compare how she is towards the stuff versus how the rest of my family is, it's very clear that, like, she's less fully against stuff. Like, initially she came off as very homophobic, but when I started telling her about stuff, she's like, that part I'm fine with. Like, genuinely, I don't care. So, you know, the only thing I can think is she is pretending to not fully accept this. And the reason why is because she wants to mostly protect me from the rest of the family that would have more issues with this. So she's mainly just trying to keep me in check to make sure I don't do something that I should not be doing in front of the rest of the family. And in reality, once it comes to the point where, like, I'm moving out, I'm on my own, whatever, like, that's when she's going to be like, okay, you're you. Now, the odds of that happening? Probably slim, but there is a non-zero chance that could be the case. Just the fact that she might be pretending to not like it as much, just for the sake of protecting me from other family that totally don't like it. And I don't know if that's actually the case or if I'm just being delusional. But I don't mind. I have my ways of keeping this secret. In fact, I've already, like, done research and everything, just to, like, fully future-proof myself against any possible finding outs. So I think at this point, this channel is fully isolated from her view. And the only way she would ever find it is if she starts watching a bunch of Pokemon content. Because I don't think it's just going to show up for her on YouTube. Because also keep in mind that, like, YouTube account that she has, my brother uses it because he's an iPad kid. He uses a phone instead of an iPad. He steals my mom's phone. But he watches a bunch of brain rot in Roblox. So I think that as long as he keeps doing that, I should be fine. Thank you very highly, so you don't need to worry. Okay, I appreciate it. Gosh, this cough is killing me. I think you're a nice person. You seem decent enough, well behaved, not a rascal. Okay, maybe I can't confirm that one. But like, you seem like a good person. I hate using Premier. I forgot to buy more Pokeball. Hey Siri, remind me to buy Pokeballs. Oh wait, I don't even have Siri set up on my phone. Dang it. I forgot. I got a new phone and I didn't set up Siri on it. Dang it. Good. I want that Jigglypuff out of my sight. Oh, a Alolan Raichu. I like a Alolan Raichu. Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy here. I'm going to actually catch the Alolan Raichu in Luxury Ball on both games. And if I don't get a shiny, I'm taking it. Wait, no. Never mind. I'm not. That's not how this works. If I get a shiny, I'll take it. Basically, the idea is I want to be shiny in a Luxury Ball, because I think that'd be pretty cool. And this is, like, the only way you can do that. On Switch, at least. You can obviously get one in Sun and Moon, and then trade it up. And then, of course, Let's Go, you can do the NPC trade to also get a shiny Raichu, but that one can't be in any ball. I think it's stuck to Pokeball. Well, neurodivergent people often understand each other or whatever. That's probably not true at all. I think it's actually the opposite. I don't know. I feel like I've had more issues with other neurodivergent people than not. I don't know. There are chill ones, and then there's ones that are just, like, too far gone. I don't want to say that badly, but you know what I mean? Like, there are some people to where it's at a point where it's like, dude, are you okay? Do you, like, in a genuine way, like, do you actually need help? Because, like, I'm willing to help you if you need it. Yeah, see, like, the chill ones, I feel like it's very easy to just get on the same wavelength. Because, like, you know, especially if you have hyperfixations, if you can find someone that, like, overlaps with that, you're set. Like Pokemon. Also, I realize I might have to take Mondays off for streaming in the future. I think next week I could still do it, but after that, no. Because with school scheduling and everything. And also, I do a D&D thing with some friends online every Monday. It's actually a Pokemon themed one, which is nice. Our main campaign is on break right now, so we're starting a side one just to pass some time until the main one can continue. But I'll need to figure out what time that is, because that might determine if I'm able to stream. Do need mental help, but it's not due to neurodivergence. Actually, it might be. Fair. I needed mental help, Then I played a Persona game. And I was like, okay, I don't need mental help. This game cured me. And then I played Final Fantasy IX, and now I need mental help again. That game gave me depression. But dang, is it a good game. You tend to overshare things? Lots of people do. I'm used to people oversharing. Give it to Janet. The Switch 2 does have a microphone built in, I think, so I think it listened to me. That's not true. This game doesn't support it. It's a Switch 1 game. Lepa. Dang it. No Eviolite on the game that actually could have used it. I'll give it wide glasses because it uses special attacks. Done it too much that your parents get mad at you? Wow. I also realize as well for streaming, I don't know, because that's not a grunt, that's me clearing my throat, by the way. Anyways, I'm supposed to be getting a job now because based on my schedule, I have plenty of free time to get a job and work a lot. I've been in the process of trying to find one, but the issue is everyone else also needs a job, so nowhere's hiring. And if a place is hiring, it's like, we'll pay you as close as we legally can to minimum wage without actually being minimum wage. And if you accept this position, you will have to have the entire managing role of our company. And it's just like, what? You're paying me like minimum wage to literally manage your business for you? Huh? No. Not doing that. So yeah, a lot of my friends are also trying to get jobs and they haven't found one yet. I'm hoping the best case scenario is that I can actually get a job with one of my friends, so at least we might have the chance of being scheduled together. You want to get a job, but you don't think you're allowed? That's fair. Is that like not allowed by your parents, or like not allowed by like age or whatever? Or is there something else to that? I don't know if there's other ways you might not be allowed. Well, okay, when you say that, I assume that might be because it's age. And if it is because of age, I'd actually recommend you don't say that. Because, you know, that's the issue of, again, not accusing you of being under 13, but if you mention age and you do happen to mention being under 13, you know, that creates issues for me. So, if it is because of age, maybe don't share, because that gives bad implications. Like, now, as long as you don't mention your age, I think technically I have to still assume that you being here and me not knowing your age means you are still 13 or older. So, there's that. I'm pretty sure, didn't you actually confirm, though, that you are over 13? At least said you were. I don't know if that actually counts as confirming anything. Not under 13, though? Good. That's the biggest concern I have. Like, I remember there was one person. I haven't seen him in a while, because they were one of my earlier viewers. And I haven't seen them in a while. Especially, I don't think, since I started doing this again. But I remember they said something about, like, being in 5th grade or whatever. And it's like, okay, logically, even if we assume you were held back a couple of years, in 5th grade, I don't think you can be 13, unless you were, like, really held back. So, pretty sure technically, that's enough information to be like, yeah, you're not 13 or older. I am, since I know that information, I am gonna have to ban you. But, like, they never said their age, and I don't know their situation. Maybe they were joking about being in 5th grade. Maybe they were just held back a ton, and they are actually 13. You know, like, can't really assume, because I don't know someone's situation, and I'm not going to poke around to figure out. I say as long as you don't mention your age, I am allowed to assume that by using chat, you are 13 or older, and I don't have to do anything. And then, like, even if someone else mentions their age and they say they are an age that's over 13, like, that's not bad. But the fact that someone mentioned age, that might prompt other people to be like, oh, well, I'm... And then they say their age. It's like, okay, no, this is bad. Stop doing that. So, yeah, fun stuff, I guess. You're actually 43 years old. AZ. Well, no, he's like 3,000. No, over 3,000. Because it was 3,000 years alone. They had to wait for his Floette to come back. How is Porygon still alive? It's at 3 HP. How has it not been attacked yet? There we go. That's not good, but it happened. Oh, 2 went down. Alright, play roof. Actually, didn't the Azumarill just have Dynamax? So that means Porygon's gonna come back and get to Dynamax. I think that's how this works. It has almost been an hour. This is the second Dynamax adventure I've done. And this might finally be the one I actually win. You field 20? Oh, I didn't even read the message that came before that, like an idiot. I don't have any social media apart from YouTube or WhatsApp. I hate brain rot. I've seen many adult movies that I'm able to have functional conversations with adults. I would say I'm premature. Yeah? You feel 20? Good on you. Wish I could feel 20. There's like no difference though, from at least from where I'm at. It's like 1 year. Oh wow. I think the crazy thing about being an adult is the fact that there's never like a point where you are an adult. Like, yes, there is the point where you are legally the adult, or not the adult, but an adult, but like you never really reach a point where you wake up and you're like, oh, yep, I'm an adult now, I know how to do adult things. Like, no, all adults are just pretending until they either get really good at pretending or actually figure out what's going on. Alright, the first one that's actually over odds or whatever. Gastrodon, no. Raichu, unfortunately, no. Azumarill, no. Tapu Fini, no. Am I allowed to share what with under 18s? I don't know if it blocked a message. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Just the fact that there's never like a point where you reach a point where you're like, yeah, I'm an adult now. Because I feel like that's just good information to know in advance, honestly. I knew that in advance. I knew it was going to be like, you're not actually going to like wake up tomorrow, be like, I'm an adult, and then suddenly know exactly what being an adult means. No, you're going to spend the first like 5 years figuring it out. And then after that, you're just going to pretend because it's way easier. I mean, that's just how it is. Like, I'm sorry that everyone basically has the exact same experience. That's just known, though. People talk about that so much. Gosh, I keep coughing. Yeah, that's just like something a lot of people share. Just, you're never really gonna feel like it. It's just a bunch of pretend. Yeah, like, I knew that going into being an adult as well. I was like, yeah. It's not going to feel different, and it's not going to for a while. That's okay. And if anything, I still get the advantage of being a child, put that in air quotes, for just a little bit longer. Yeah, no one's gonna punish me. That's just a common thing people know, or at least people say. You're not good at portraying sarcasm. It's all good. And it doesn't help your case that you're doing it over text as well. That's just one of the annoying things about text-based communication. Unless you know and use a bunch of tone markers on everything, it's gonna be hard to properly portray. Sweet. Seller for the PSP just reached out to me. Actually, they reached out a while ago. I just didn't get the notification until just now. But it comes with a memory stick. I don't have to buy anything else. May you ask why I think you're a good person? You're chill. You're like you're like peak chatter. Yeah, we'll call it that. Like, you're not being annoying, you're not spamming in chat, so as far as chat goes, like, you're at least well behaved enough to not destroy my life. I forgot to buy Pokeballs again. But like, judging by the fact that you're behaving over chat, I think it's good. So, like, if you're behaving over chat, you're probably just a good person in real life. That's how I see it, because, like, with chat, that is so easy, because you're shielded automatically by just being online and not saying it to someone's face. You can say whatever you want to someone. You can be annoying and spam, like, you know. Gives you self-esteem boost. That's good. Oh, I got some more Christmas presents. So we typically do a family Christmas thing. We had to delay it because people were sick when we wanted to do it. But anyways, I got a couple gifts. One of them is a jazz mouthpiece for my saxophone, which I'm really excited about. That's something I've wanted for a while, so I'll have to try that out today. I also got a little, like, beanie, I guess is what you call it. That's, like, school themed. It's really nice. And it's got stuff on both sides. So, like, one side is, like, the actual school logo. The other side is the school name. It's really nice. Especially because I think it's actually going to be pretty cold by the time I go back. I think we're about to have temperature drops. Because where I live, I think there's something of like, if it's a warm January, it's going to be a cold February or something. So I'm prepared. I also got me a nice scarf, just separate. You need to get gloves. But I'll be ready to stay warm. Also, if you're just a jerk, you might say that I'm not very nice and not going to help yourself. Yeah, it's fair. Absolutely slay with a scarf. I do. I don't have a picture of it, but for Halloween 2024, Yes, 2024. My costume. So, context before that, I'm working on a video game, technically. I don't know if it's ever actually going to release, but it's an RPG like Pokemon, except it's not like Pokemon, it's more Final Fantasy style. But I'm doing like the overall story since I was the one who came up with the concept, and also music, assuming we get around to making it, because I'm working on it with a friend, supposedly. But anyways, we already had like concept art and designs for the main character, and so I did the costume with the character, and my friend actually said I had good character design, which is great. But yeah, the scarf was amazing. So can I say your real name out loud? You want your mom to hear? It's Christopher Chesman, right? I think I got that right. I think. I promise I try. My memory is like Dory. I forget a lot. Nodded enthusiastically. I said perfectly. Nice. American. Welcome to America. We are so cheap that we literally changed the spelling of words because it was too expensive to put the letter U in some of them. That's still so funny to me. Like, I still spell... So, I set a lot of my keyboards and stuff to be, like, English UK and stuff. Just because I'm actually, unironically, more used to reading stuff in that format. Because, context, I play Xenoblade. It's one of my favorite Nintendo series. And it's very British. At least the the English releases of it are. So, if you play it fully as intended for the English releases, the time format on the save screen is actually in whatever they use in the UK. I think it's, what is it, day, month, year? Is that how they do it over there? I don't know. The save files use that format instead of the American format. Time, I think, also, like, at least in-game time for, like, the clock, even though you can change it and stuff, it uses 24-hour format, I think, as well. I don't know if that's a universal thing over there or if that's just what most people use. But, you know, it's different because here that's called military time. If you're not doing that, then you're on 12-hour time, which is great. And then subtitles, I think, also by default use the UK spellings of words. So, like, if someone said color or favorite, I think it does have the letter U in them, which is interesting. So, yeah, I just got used to that, so I've kind of set a bunch of my stuff to follow that just because my brain likes it. But I do think it's funny because the characters are British. But I swear in Smash Ultimate, Shulk sounds like a British person trying to impersonate an American person that is trying to impersonate a British person. The accent is not... It sounds like if an American person tried to do an accent of a British person. And not like a good accent. Like, it sounds like they are intentionally trying to just make it as obnoxious as possible because, oh, look at me, I'm talking so British. And... But, like, I'm pretty sure the voice actor is actually British. So it's like, what are you doing? How are you impersonating your own accent poorly? Just talk normally, I beg. It's just funny. But it does mean it's very easy to do impressions of Shulk's meme lines. Because it's already just bad American stuff. So, like, it's very easy to just get the exact tone. Whenever there's a British character in an American show, they always have to point out that the British... Exactly. Shout out to my boy Ferb Fletcher. The best British boy. True, true. Yes, we'll say that. Third best would probably be this one guy that was in the alto sax section in marching band. He was a transfer student, and I think unfortunately only was staying the one semester with us, so he won't be around next semester. But he was British. He was cool. I just never really got to know him, so you know, there's not really as much of a personal attachment. Like, I think I might have talked to him once. I don't know. Honorable mention, Dan TDM. That guy basically raised me. Not really. Like, obviously I didn't go to his house and have him raise me like I was his child, but like, you know. That guy was my childhood. I don't watch him anymore, unfortunately, just because I kind of grew into liking different things. But I still check in, because like sometimes he does upload stuff and I'll see it and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'll look into that. I love how I've just adopted wearing a beanie now. I have no reason for it. I will say that one of my favorite series he ever did was Job Simulator. Now, it did bother me because he never finished any of the games. Like, he played them for the episode and then moved to the next one and the next one. And he even said, I might come back and finish these. Never did. Which is kind of upsetting. I wish he would have. But like, he's actually one of the reasons I was actually very interested in getting a VR headset. Because Job Simulator and the VR Five Nights at Freddy's games, like those alone, and Beat Saber actually, like those alone would all sell me on a VR headset. And I want one so bad, but they're like very expensive. I'm sure if I look around or have connections, I could probably find one for a better deal. But I just never really thought about actually buying into one. Because, like, it's fun, but it feels very much like a gimmick. And I know VR stuff is still coming out and all, but, like, it feels like a gimmick. You know, like, I feel like I'm gonna be like, oh, this is so cool, buy into it. And then, like, the second I do, I'm just gonna regret it. Which is unfortunate. He did raise spirits whenever you would watch me, yeah. I also was really fond of his Parappa the Rapper stuff. He was actually the whole reason I even knew that game existed. Switch from phone to computer? Nice. You know, that's something I was actually thinking about as well. I mentioned that earlier. For phone viewers, I'm thinking about at least trying out vertical streams, because you can do both at once, and they'll share a chat and everything. I'm thinking about soft introducing that. It's not going to be permanent. Maybe. Basically, I just want to try it out and see how that affects things. Because I know some people watch on mobile and they'd rather watch in that, you know, watch a vertical. So I might try that and see how it works. Because apparently both of them are counted as the same stream, just different ways to watch it. Which is great, because I think in the past, if you wanted to do both, you needed a whole second channel to do it. Or something? I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking about introducing those, see how they perform. Because if they perform well, then I'll probably just start doing them more because, you know, that just helps me get a wider reach. But, you know, if they don't seem to have a meaningful effect, then I'll probably not do them anymore. Yeah, snack just now because that was 4, but now you're not allowed dinner because turns out it's actually 6. Oh. Dang. You were very angrily stormed off. Dang, that sucks. You give her having a bad perception of time. You don't like autism. Me neither. I hate it. The only good things that have come out of it for me are trains and Pokemon. Well, that Lycanroc kind of screwed us. Well, to be fair, Durant also died there. Not saying you hate autistic people. Yeah, I figured. Autistic people are actually very chill. Most of the time. Most of the time. Okay, I'm buying Pokeballs this time. Lycanroc. No. Tentacruel. No. Durant. No. Today is not a good day for any of this. Oh, it's not plus to open the map in this game. Literally the nearest Pokemon Center. Oh, so, me too. Me too. They are very conflicting things, which are unfortunate to have at the same time. Because, like, half of me wants to keep an exact schedule. I want to know exactly what I'm going to do at certain points and all that. But then the other side of me wants to live free and be chaotic and just do stuff whenever I have the feeling to. So, I get points where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then I turn around and just not do any of that. You're already over 10th odds for your Santa guest hunt? That sucks. Um, Sometimes explain it like it's being gender fluid and autism is female, ADHD is male. True. You know, you just kind of flow between the two. I have medicine said 10th, not 10 times over odds. So the genders could be switched. Yeah. My poor 3DS, I'm so glad I'm getting a replacement bottom screen for it. So, fun facts about the original model 3DS. If you don't use it for very long, the screen starts to yellow. And it's not yellowing like how like white plastic yellows in sunlight or whatever. It's just yellowing as in like pixels aren't fully activating all their colors. So the fix to that is just put on a purely white image. It doesn't 100% fix it, but it does its best to activate any it does its best to bring back some color. It's been working. Yeah, anyways, my bottom screen for it actually sucks because it's very staticky, like it flickers a lot, and it's discolored. And today I looked at it and it has a whole bunch of black lines on it. Like, it is literally dying as we speak. So I'm so glad I'm getting a replacement for it. Wish we were similar age, because if we were, we'd probably be good friends in real life. I'm sure we would be. In a perfect world, I would be able to do this for like 5 or more hours a day. And realistically, I could, because I mean, I've already been at this for about an hour today. So 5 hours would put me at around 4 p.m. my time. So I could do that. Just not going to. I need to remember what amazing schedule I had for my old stream. Because I had like this perfect schedule where like whenever I started the stream, I forget when it was, it worked out perfectly to where when I started, I got a little bit of everyone. I got people who were out of school for the day and wanted to watch. I had people who had just got off of work, and I had night owls. I hit 5 hours on those streams, and I had very good views because I was live long enough to get like a wide variety of viewers. It was great. Maybe we could be like Steve Harrington, Dustin from Stranger Things. I wish I got that. I don't watch Stranger Things, unfortunately, so. I know, shame on me. I don't watch Stranger Things. Yeah, my quest is now to figure out the perfect timing that I have, or I guess had, on my older stuff. If you had watched Stranger Things, you would have found that very funny. I'm sure I would have. Actually, I want to see. Okay. Anyways, I want to see if I made like a post about it or anything. That'd be great. Long before ZA and X playthrough. Okay, I genuinely don't know where I am. You're very expert right now. You honestly don't want to stop talking. That's fair. I'm a yapper, typically. As long as I'm with friends or in a situation like this where it's expected of me to talk. Like, I'm fine yapping. I love yapping. Anyways, I don't know where I am in the timeline because I just hit the point where I started band camp, and now I'm at the point where I was starting work on my batch quiz video. So it's a bit before this, I think. Okay, a very popular thing on one of the polls actually that I found. Apparently, you're the only extrovert you know. Wow. So I know some people have school starting up near future, so I want some opinions of what type of content works best for you for the next 9-ish months. Okay, and then what ended up happening, or I guess what was voted on, was videos with normal time streams on Friday and Saturday. Trying to find where I set a schedule or something. Best friends already told you they hates people. Wow. Okay, I found an older post. It was my second post. This is actually what I'm doing today. Not exactly, but it's funny enough. It was 11 to 5 my time. I think that's like 6 hours. That was when I was hunting Rayquaza, and I was desperate to just get encounters on it as much as I could. Best friend singular? I'm definitely not going that crazy, but I have the ability to. Okay, I actually don't think I mentioned it. Is that 7 minutes and 55 seconds or 7 hours and 55 minutes? The longer one, 7 hours 55 minutes. Wow. I think I had one. Yeah, I had one stream. No, I had two. Maybe. Yeah, I have had 2 streams that have gone to 7 hours. The first one was what we like to call the 7-hour stream. Context for that, I was doing my badge quest and it was getting late because it was a late night session. It was quite literally, I was bored, I was up late at night, I was like, I'll go live and start hunting. I don't expect anyone to be here, but at least it's out there that I'm hunting. For whatever reason, I got either a lot of night owls or people in other time zones in that stream. So it ended up working out for me to where literally like everyone was there. Like it was insane. That was where the beginning of my channel's growth actually was. And then there was another one that was actually longer. It was the start of the final hunt for that badge quest. I think it's actually cool how it evolved, because the first one was still on one capture card, and that capture card is actually the sucky one that's on the right. That one sucks, and I learned it only really works if you set it to 30 FPS. So if it ever looks slower, that's because it literally is. Pokemon is 30 FPS, so I think it's fine, but it might not be on the same, you know, it might be desynced, so it may not look as smooth. I don't know. But then the very next stream, I got the second capture card, which is what's on the left now. And so what I would do during the part 2 of the hunt is, while I waited for the eggs to like breed and everything, I played Pokemon Rumble on my Wii U and just had that be a side hunt. It was pretty fun. I love how for the Living Dex hunt I just reused the previous stream thumbnail but slightly changed it. Yeah, I used to have pretty consistent like 5-hour streams. Oh, the old layout too. Oh, wait, like I appreciate that. I just found my old layout that I used. I miss it. Not really, like I'm never going back to that, but it was fun. My biggest mistakes with it are 100% using borders for the games. I'm never doing that again. Although I could technically use it on this layout because the games are the same size. In 2 streams, I will have streamed Tapu Fini just as much as Rayquaza. The only difference being Rayquaza, I did longer streams. Okay, when I say just as much. That, I think, no, it's literally just as much because those were also shorter streams. I was gonna say that's in comparison to like total streams, not stream time, but no. The old layouts went through so much. I miss them. Like the first one was amazing. It was such a mess of colors and everything and so basically designed. And it had a spot for like webcam hunts. But I never did any on it, I don't think. No, I did one with it. Then I moved to a solid pink background. And then I moved to version 1 of my old background. Or more recent old background. Then eventually I adopted version 2. And skip a little bit. Had another black background era. Hopefully it raises my self-esteem. It does. Oh, I want to talk about a certain layout I used to have. Hold on, I need to talk about an old layout I had. Okay. We gotta talk about this. So, how do I add an image? Image. There we go. I mean, I guess in our situation you'd say you know of me. Okay, that's way too big. Because like technically you don't like know me, but you know of me at least. And since there's not like any kind of external personal connection, you know. Anyways. Not to say that's not important, but this was my first layout. I'll just put it big. We don't need to see anything going on right now. So, this was my very first layout. This was not for streams. This was actually used in my very first video. So, let's break this down. Completely stock black background, because fun fact on OBS, you start with a black background. That is the default color in the back. You have to add an image if you want any colors or whatever. So I didn't have a layout at this time. I didn't design one. So we have, very confusing, I know. So the top left, that is my Switch OLED because the Switch 2 wasn't out and I didn't have one at this time. And actually no, when did the Switch 2 come out? I think it was after this still. Anyways, that was my Switch OLED, which is what the right game is on. And there's the second player you can see in the image. That's my Switch Lite, because at the time I had a Switch Lite as my second system. And you couldn't see it because, as it says, it's off camera. Sorry, no counter for it. Hunting this never my Lite 2. That is off to the left of the bottom image, which that image shows my Wii U gamepad, which I'm playing Battle Revolution on. Shy hunting for the Kyogre costume. And then the Uxie, I think that's which one this is. That is running on, the screen is turned off. Well, not turned off, it's just on black screen in this image. But I'm hunting that in Ultra Moon, I believe, on my 3DS, which you can kind of see in the frame. That one also didn't have a counter. But for context as to why the room is so dark, because you can easily tell that there are no lights on, at the time I did not want a face cam. And I also did not want people to see my face, because I wasn't ready to do that. So, that's why it looked like that. It was literally just all the lights were black so that there was not enough room lighting to reflect off of the screens and show my face. At some point I'll add a face cam. I don't know where it will go though. You want to see my face? If you watch some of my other videos, I do actually have my face shown in them. I'm trying to think which ones. I know the ZA video doesn't have it, because I think that one was entirely on a capture card, with the only live segments being stuff I filmed, like me writing something. Like, I think the only live segment in that video actually was me writing on a piece of paper. But the Pokemon X playthrough video, like, if you look in the 3DS screen, I think at some point in the video itself, actually, I do show my face, because that was the face reveal. And then the Vivian video, I do show my face pretty early in that. So there are ways to see it. It is out there. Which is funny, because I think that makes only 2. This has just been a bad day for doing these. I swear I've only got 1 win so far. And the paths are slowly getting worse too. Oh, I meant to pick Quillfish. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. They picked Fracture. When I told some people in another stream that I've been really enjoying talking to you, they called you a simp. What? Okay. Yeah, I enjoy having human interaction. Simp. Okay. Guess I'll just lock myself in a room and never talk to anyone ever again. Yeah, we'll do that. 3 items have been shipped. Hooray. Wait, what was one of them? PSP? Please. Yay! Wait. The estimated delivery on my PSP that I ordered is actually in like 3 days. Which is great, because based on what it says right now. So, obviously, fun fact about ordering things that are not from your country. Typically, especially with like electronics, they do have to go through like customs checks. You know, make sure it's not a bomb or anything. But I think where in Canada I bought it from, they actually live very close to the Canada-US border. So I think it is genuinely just getting here quicker. Which sucks now, because that means the charger and battery I bought for it are going to come after it. Guess it was because they assume you're assist Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's fair. I want to get into doing collaborations. That's something that just popped into my mind. Because one person actually told me about another Pokemon YouTuber that they think I was very similar to and would probably get along well with. I subscribed to them, started watching some of their videos, and I do think there is potential for us working together. But I think the only issue is my first impression in that streamer's eyes was just as a normal chatter. Like, I don't even think they know that I do anything, and I don't want to be the person who goes in other people's chats and is like, hey, content creation. You know, I don't want to be that kind of person. That's just rude. But I'm hoping at some point I can do collaborations with people. Of course, I shiny hunt mostly, so that kind of limits things as far as collaborations go. But I'm sure with Pokemon stuff, there's probably something I could do with someone. Even with shiny hunting. Like, I'm sure I could do like a shiny race with someone or whatever. Don't know how to record Nintendo Switch. You would need a capture card, I think. If you have other consoles, I don't know about PlayStation. It might be possible with PlayStation. Although I don't know. But I know with Xbox, I think I heard it is possible to do with an Xbox. I don't know. Basically, with Twitch specifically, I'm pretty sure you can actually stream on Twitch through an Xbox. And I think maybe PlayStation as well. And something about you can actually plug your Switch into the Xbox. And the Xbox will actually like act as a capture card and stream that or whatever. I don't know if that's true. You know, I have Nintendo Switch and you don't want to stream. That's fair. If you cared about recording videos, though, I can give you advice on that if you're ever interested. As far as recording, you want OBS or Streamlabs OBS, take your pick. They're like literally the same thing. I use regular OBS just because that's what I got the first time and I'm liking it. And then you need a capture card as well. You do have some videos and you're very interested. Okay, so you're good on that part. So you would just need a capture card. The ones I have are very cheap, like $15 to $20 HD capture cards I got on Amazon. Your quality varies because these are unbranded products, so, you know, you really just gotta roll the dice on them. But I will say, especially on eBay, I have seen, and I was actually, that's how I saw this. So Elgato capture cards, those are like often recommended as like the best of the best to get. And I've seen pretty good Elgato capture cards linked to on eBay just to buy secondhand. And like without any of the cables, which you only need HDMI and I think USB-A to USB-C, which is what a lot of them are these days anyways. I'm pretty sure if you have those two anyways, like you can get a good one for like $30. So like, I'm genuinely tempted to at least try it, because like, worst case scenario, it sucks. They were selling it because it was broken, but didn't mention that. Whatever. Still cheap. And the OBS on your computer, that's actually a good thing. It doesn't matter what you have it on. Or I guess computer, laptop. I haven't done laptop streams because like the way my capture cards are set up, they are literally like taped to my wall. Like wall mounted capture cards. Just because it's easier on wire management for me. Probably not a good thing to do, but that's how I have them. Yeah, capture cards plug into your computer, so basically, in case you don't even know what I mean by a capture card, literally takes the HD video and then converts it to a USB signal for your computer. Basically, the computer just sees my switches as other webcams or whatever. Just so happens the video on these are Pokemon from the Switch. And actually, from what I heard, for the Switch 2 camera for like game chat, apparently since it accepts any form of like USB camera, technically you can use a capture card as your camera for game chat. So I've seen people play Wii U on Switch 2 by using a capture card. It's pretty funny what you can do with it. Worst case scenario, I hear your voice and don't like you anymore. I mean, I don't really judge people based on their voice. I will say though, I'm tempted on, or I guess I'm tempted to get another capture card at some point if it's easy, because I want to stream some other things, or at least record other things. Some of those things require me to use my actual TV, which, fun fact, would be impossible with my computer, because if I were to do that, I would either need 2 really long HDMI cables to run the video over to the capture card at my computer, and then another long one to run it back to the TV. Or another option would be really long USB cable. Neither of those are that great. So instead what I'm thinking about doing is getting another capture card, or at least, yeah, probably another capture card, just so I can have one of these two free to move around, because it hates plugging in capture cards and unplugging them and all. Just so I can use my laptop and stream some stuff. That would be fun. Okay, so PSP situation is gonna be fun. Just reread it just to check. I saw it came with memory stick. Comes with a 512 megabyte memory stick. So basically what that means is it doesn't come with a memory stick. It does, and I can use it for the basics of saving my games, but I'm gonna mod this thing. And modding alone would take up more space than that. So I'm probably going to have to buy an adapter to use SD cards on it. Which I'm okay with, because honestly, the reason why I'm okay with it is the adapter alone is only like $10, I think. I saw it was. And then an SD card, I mean, I already have one that's in my 3DS right now. That's the perfect size for it. How do you connect a microphone to your Switch? Okay, so you can't really use a microphone on Switch. The Switch 2, I think, has one built in, question mark. Don't quote me on that. I think it does, though. Just because you need it for game chat. But I don't think Switch 1 has microphone support. So for microphone, if you want to record audio, you would just plug that into your computer as well. Basically, the Switch only serves to give you Switch footage. That's all you need the Switch for. Everything else is done on the computer. I would like to upgrade my microphone at some point. Like, I got one that was, like, good enough for my budget. And it works. I'm happy with it. But, like, I think there is definitely better quality things to get. So at some point I'd like to upgrade. Oh, I'm using electric moves on this thing. It has Volt Absorb probably. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. I've been healing it. I'm an idiot. At least my party takes care of it. Oh, that's cheating. It nullified the poison, which would have killed it. Oh, but it dies anyways. Nice. Sorry, I'm doing it. No worries. Huh? Reschedule. I got a message for the PSP. Apparently, it is actually estimated to come tomorrow. Like, by the people. eBay is obviously not trustworthy enough with when it says your things are gonna arrive and everything. Because if it has like a varied window, it will default to the latest it can possibly show up. And with my PS3 even, what ended up happening was it took the latest date, it updated to be like, actually, yeah, it's going to come on this date. And then when it was already in my state, like 30 minutes away from my house, it updated again to be like, oh, you don't have it yet, which means it might be taking a while, which means it might actually come on the latest date again. Sorry about that. Then literally right before it arrives, it's like, oh, no, it is coming today, right? It's here. Hi, guys. And then it shows up. If you want to mean by it, I mean complimenting someone too much that sometimes they think I fancy them and being too clingy because of self-esteem. Hey, it's fine. I don't mind. Oh. My bad. I accidentally clicked on something. I clicked on audio. So fun fact for audio, that's used for nothing now. It was used for voiceovers and stuff. But then I realized I did not need to do that because I have an audio recorder already on my computer. So I just do that now. Basically, it just saves me the hassle of having to have a video feed in there as well. And then I tried to move up, and that was the full screen single system. But anyways, it's nice to know that the actual people who are delivering my package apparently think it's going to show up tomorrow. And that was like right now. Which, oh my gosh, if it thinks it's coming tomorrow and got pushed forward 2 days, then it must already have gone through checks or whatever, and it's already, like, that is just crazy that something from Canada is going to arrive like 2 days after I order it. So annoying when people think I fancy them and I don't. It happens so many times since most of my friends are girls. Also usually people who watch me talk to them who think I'm fun. I understand that. That's one of my biggest fears, just in general, talking to people. Like, I always feel like they're gonna think I like them in more than what I intend to give off. And then I try too hard to make sure I don't come across as that, to where I think, honestly, it just makes it come across as that even more. Why? You. My stomach is growling. But I don't have food. I do have food. I just don't have, like, food. All my snack food is gone, so everything takes time to cook. Times can you tell if I like them romantically or not? That's real. I always struggle with that. I'm like, okay, do I like this person because I think they'd be a cool friend, or do I like this person because I think they're cool, you know. So, the easiest solution is just not. Like, genuinely, that's what I've been doing. I just don't let myself really think that way. That's also a good reason why I have no interest in not being single anytime soon. Like, I've been in relationships, they were good. They just ended naturally. Things didn't work out. I don't care. And honestly, I don't care enough going forward to really seek it. I just figure if it happens and I meet someone, then it happens. But of course, you know, when you're in high school, they're all like, oh, don't worry if you don't find someone here. Your options are extremely limited just by being in one school. Don't worry, by the time you get to college, you'll have like so many options and meet so many people with your interests that like it'll happen in no time. They didn't say, and what they really should start saying, is that yeah, but also everyone there is also already in like some kind of committed relationship. No shiny. Yeah, like, I swear, I have met so many people who are already in relationships, or even engaged or married. And it's like, oh. And they said I would find someone. I mean, I am finding people. Well, I'm finding people that are already in relationships and stuff. So yeah, I just kind of gave up on searching for it. Figure if it's gonna happen, it'll happen at the right time. I am seeing 3 different dates now. So eBay itself says the PSP comes on the 15th. Email through eBay says the 14th, and the actual people delivering it say the 13th. So it's just gonna show up at some point. I'll just go outside one day, it's just gonna be sitting there. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was still unaware about my sexuality. I had a crush on a boy in year 4, but I still can't tell this day whether I actually like them or not. It turns out I'm just straight. Fair. I remember there was this one guy that I knew, and after I came out and everything, one of the first things he asked, well, actually, one of the first things I noticed was he started complimenting me a lot. I'm like, okay, you didn't compliment me this much beforehand. What's going on here? And then, like, at one point, he's like, so, are you, like, actually bi? Like, would you be interested in dating guys, question mark? Not like I'm trying to ask you out or anything. I'm like, Okay, well then that's still kind of weird to just ask, but yeah. So yeah, even though I don't talk to him anymore, I'm like 90% sure that he absolutely was trying to ask me out. He just wanted to make 100% sure he was in the safe space to do so. I love how the charger for the PSP actually no, I find him Malcolm from Jurassic Park attractive, so but it's fair. I'm going to be so for real. Most of the guy crushes I've had are from video games. Exhibit A, N from Pokemon Black and White. That's not really surprising though. That man himself is fruity. I think in one of the episodes of the anime, Meowth even said this guy's one berry short of being a whole fruit basket. So yeah, I feel like N is just very likable. And he is definitely bi as well, so it's very easy for everyone to like him. Yeah, I think it's funny now that the only thing that hasn't shipped of everything I've ordered is the charger for the PSP. Which means I'm gonna overly rely on the fact that the battery that I got for this thing actually has a charge. Or that I have a charger that will work with the PSP. I think I might actually, because fun fact, like my junior year of high school, they were like very strict on laptops, and so like you didn't get to use your own laptop a lot of time. You had to use the one the school gave you. And I lost the charger for that, and apparently even with the warranty, it didn't cover losing the charger. So yeah, I ended up getting a replacement thing. I didn't actually get the charger immediately. Instead what I got was one of those charger things that has like multiple different connection types. So that way, you know, it kind of works on multiple things. And honestly, I would not be surprised if at least one of the things on here actually works for the PSP. I'll just have to try. I know it's probably one of the two small yellow ones I have. So I'll have to try those first. Actually, same for women. Honestly, still don't know. That's fair. Also, I think it's funny. eBay sent me a thing over email or whatever for my PS3 that I got like almost 2 weeks ago, I think it was at this point. But it's like, how do you like it? You should leave a review. I literally left a review the second I got, like day one. Okay, not the second I got. I left a review within a few hours of getting it because I had to set it up and everything and make sure it actually worked. But once I confirmed it worked and did everything I needed to, I left a very good review because it was exactly as I paid for it. And that's something I want to get into doing more. Like, if I buy fully expensive things, I'm gonna leave reviews for sellers, because it's like, you know, if they did a good job, they did a good job. It's an expensive item, and they delivered on it. So, you know. Games, well, I guess games and accessories I haven't been doing as much, because it's like, you know, like, it's weird. I buy games from just whatever I can get a good price for, or the condition I want it in. So I jump around sellers, and it also doesn't help that half the time, like, I even tried this at one point. I tried to get another game I wanted from a seller I already had a good experience with buying games from, but they didn't have the game I wanted, so I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. My PS3 actually came with the game as well. It was disc only, and it's in one of those, like, paper sleeves. But that was nice of them to throw in a game. Maybe I'll play it at some point. It doesn't seem like my kind of game, but I'll try it. Eventually. I've actually been considering getting like a foot pedal or something, just so when I go back to like Scarlet and Violet and stuff, I don't have to use my keyboard to increment the counter. And they're fairly cheap. Like, I've seen them go for like $12 roughly. Pretty nice deal. I just don't need one right now, so I'm not getting one. Plus, I'm pretty sure I can rig up extra keyboards or stuff to do the exact same thing, and then just like tape a piece of cardboard to it or whatever, to where like if I step on the piece of cardboard, it'll press the space bar and increment or something. I don't know. Definitely your favorite streamer. I'm awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try my best. Use a camera app on your phone to count your sandy gas encounters. I used to do that because before I did streams and stuff, I would mostly shiny hunt on like 3DS and stuff, or sometimes Switch just whenever I was at school and had time or whatever. But I stopped doing that because I started streaming. And of course for streams, people want to see stuff on screen. I almost use A Drive Shiny Shiny counting app or whatever it is, because there's a PC like browser version. But you can't hook that up directly to stream. Like, you'd have to create a separate window for that tab. And on top of that, you'd have to leave the tab open because you can't rig it, I don't think, to be incremented with a key press. You have to actively click on it to increment. And like, it was cool and all, but I just didn't see use in using it when there are easier ways to do so. In fact, there was literally something I saw that will check your capture card, and if it sees a very specific image that you feed it, then it will increment the counter every time it sees it. Now, I will say, there was this one app that I saw recently that seems like a really cool thing to have, because it's a mobile app, and through it, not only can you track encounters, but also it advertised that if you have a custom firmware 3DS, you can pair a controller to your phone that can then pair to the 3DS. And when you do that, you can use the controller to control the 3DS. Or if you have multiple, you can actually control multiple at the same time. And it will automatically increment the counter for you. I think for that, it's when it receives the input to reset, it reads that and does an increment. Which is really cool and all. I was like, that's cool. Maybe for 3DS hunts, I'll at least consider doing that. But no, I can't. Because that's a paid feature. They advertise the app as being able to do something, and then it can't even do that unless you pay them money. And it's like, bruh. Lego Pokemon sets. Yay! Okay, there's 3 of them. The Kanto starter one looks sick. But I also like the Eevee one. I might get the Eevee. Am I able to read your comments? On stream or on like videos? They're not loading? They're loading for me. I'm able to see them. And they're showing up on the on-screen. Easiest way to tell is if they're showing up. Actually, my stream is behind. Let me. Yeah, if they're showing up on the on-screen chat, then that's a good sign that they are loading. That happened to me once a while ago. I was in a stream, and it took me like to my own little private chat room almost. Like I was still connected with chat and everything, but I couldn't see anyone else's messages. So I was scared, and I thought, oh no, they can't see my messages. Bummer. But no, they could. Just turns out I was somehow isolated from everyone else. You sent 2 since the phone counter? Oh, then those, no, I can't see, unfortunately. You might have to send them again. You've sent it. Maybe it's getting auto mod filters. Because that's another thing that happens. Like sometimes it just doesn't let messages through if it thinks they're just not something that should be let through. I don't know, it's very dumb. Okay, I was saying that I felt gender fluid, but sexual. I didn't say. That makes sense. Right now, you feel bi or pan or gay. Definitely not straight, though. That's fair. Wow. Okay. So, Lego Pokemon sets. Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. $650 US. Pikachu and Pokeball. $200 US. Eevee, $60 US. That's actually the best deal on one. Kanto Region Badge Collection. It's free if you purchase the $650 set. And then the mini Pokemon Center is 2,600 insider points. Cool. If I buy anything, it's probably the Eevee set. But still, Lego is so expensive. And also, whoa, crazy. The first wave of Pokemon sets releases on February 27th of 2026. It's almost like they did this entire brand deal for the 30th anniversary. No way. Everything you say is fair, take that, Snow White. Yeah? Do I win this? Yes, I do. Mirror should have mentioned you. That's so true. Oh, that's nice. The luxury ball is only 1 over now. Alright. Azumarill, no. Aselgor, no. Cherim, no. Tapu Fini. Ugh. Okay, I'm getting slightly hungry, so I'm gonna set these up. I'll read this real quick. Don't look queer at all. I literally cannot stand the idea of wearing makeup and you wear like shorts and a t-shirt as an outfit. It's fair. Again, there I go. See, that's just my default response to stuff when I don't know what else to say. Sure, that's obvious though. I'm gonna make popcorn because that's like the easiest to make thing that can slightly fill me up. So I'm going to set these up. I know they'll connect, like, instantly. If anyone shows up while I'm gone, I trust that you can entertain them for the next, like, 5 seconds. Oh, dang. Okay, so I was gone a bit too long. Yeah, unfortunately, I realized about the time I got down there that I'm like, oh shoot. I think popcorn actually takes longer to make than the timer would give me. I think outrage is funny because technically you use it on yourself. Good news, no one joined. Yeah, I didn't miss anyone, I guess. Something else I thought of is I'd like to actually start doing raids. Yeah. Now, I don't know how easy doing raids is going to be because I don't know if anyone will be live by the time I'm wrapping up. But, you know, it's a nice sending support both ways thing I could do. And it would help me reach potentially new people. I'm also thinking... Actually, I don't know what I was going to say there. I need like 2 seconds to actually think through my thought. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking soon. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. No, you are enough. I'm fine with whatever size. I just like the idea of reaching more people. Because, you know, that's my thing. I want to be entertaining and have people like watching my stuff, give people some more stuff to watch. So while I really don't care whether or not the channel grows, I'd like to at least try to help it. Yeah, that would be kind of funny out of context, especially since that's not my intention behind that at all. Oh, no wonder it didn't do anything. I need to do this on the other game. Oh, never mind. Too slow. Yeah, as far as channel growth goes, it would still be nice to do, like, help my channel grow and everything, because If the channel grows, that gives me more opportunities, and more opportunities means I can make better content. So basically, it's a trade-off. If I grow, I make better content, but I start to lose like one-on-one viewer interactivity. But I feel like that's just a trade-off you have to accept with doing this. I feel like that's part of the agreement. You going on that though, at least trying to? Well, good luck with that. Hopefully everything works out for you. Yeah. Popcorn is so weird. I just realized that. Like, how's all this light, hairy, and fluffy stuff fit inside those kernels? You honestly care too much? I'll talk without food in my mouth. I honestly care too much. I've been really desperate recently to hate myself because I think that no one could love me. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not wrong to want it. Like, I think that's reasonable. I think just the biggest thing to remember about it and everything is just like there is at least someone out there that likes you, because I think I saw something that was like, even if 99% of the world hated you, that still leaves like a very fair amount of people that don't hate you. You know, for a Dynamax adventure that started with me AFK and getting forced on a route without picking, this is actually going pretty well. I also think that a girl and a boy getting along with each other is actually the sweetest thing in the world. If your best friend was a girl. That's fair. Yeah, I get that. Fortunately, with my position in life and the fact that pretty much all my friends are band kids, or at least close friends of those friends who are band kids, so, you know, very controlled circle. I definitely have a very mixed friend group. Like, you got a bit of everything, because it's mostly people who are in the same section as me. So I just have a bunch of connections to people. I think I'm very fortunate to be in that position as well, because I just know so many great people because of it. I think it also helps that it's like, you know, we're friends because we are in the same section and we play the same instrument, not, oh no, we are friends of opposite genders or sexes. Like, oh no, that's not good. You know, like, you don't really think about it in this situation as anything more than just, yeah, we're just friends. You know, some of your friends will probably not get along at all. That's fair. At one point, I had 2 friend groups, actually. I had A and B friend groups. Friend group A, as I'm going to call it, even though at the time they were definitely the friend group B in my eyes. That group was like all the band people I knew and everything. And I had another friend group of people, but over time, what we're calling, I'll just stick to what I've been calling friend group B. You know, I started to drift away from them, and they did not get along with friend group A at all. Like, actively despised them. So eventually I just kind of was like, okay, you guys do not seem to take nicely to the fact that I'm even friends with these people. So I just slowly drifted into friend group A. So in my situation, with everything that happened, it was easier to just cut it down to the one friend group that I knew worked. Also, I just want to point out that aside from band, I have not made any friends in college, I don't think. Because, like, all my friends I have are people I already knew from high school that also decided to go to the same place. Or it's people I met through band. Because all my other classes, like, I got to know people in them, but we never really, like, fully established a bond. Like, there's one person I met through one of my music classes. She's cool. But, like, we don't actively talk to each other. We had a couple conversations, and that was about it. What instrument do I play? I play the tenor sax. Although, actively playing it is about to stop. Because I don't have any like ensemble classes this semester, and I only have 2 years left. I'm doing marching band with it, and then after that it is completely on my own to decide to pick up the instrument and play. And fun fact, I probably won't be picking it up and playing it much. I did get a jazz mouthpiece, which I really wanted. So I'll probably be playing it a bit more than not, but, you know, it's still in the air. But that's just because of my major, because I'm majoring in commercial songwriting. Put that in air quotes. That's not actually what the major is called. Such a major doesn't exist. It's a subcategory of a different major. I think it's like some audio major with a focus in commercial music, but people just say it's commercial music is my major.
Yeah, that's for like songwriting, like being in a actual band, not like ensemble band, but like an actual like rock band or something. I think a kernel just popped in my bag after it's been out of the microwave. What? Yeah, I have some friends who, even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least all want to make music together. One of them is actually in the same major as me. So I think at some point, either during this semester or afterwards, we're gonna start like working together and doing some stuff. We have to figure out instruments though, because I think one already really wants to play piano. So I'm probably just gonna be like, yeah, sure, you can have piano on most things. Of course, if I write a song for piano, I'm gonna want to play piano on it, because it's, you know, my song that I wrote. But that's okay, because I also play bass. I love my bass. And so it's highly likely that I'm going to be the bass player most of the time. Now for drums, I don't know how that's going to work. Fortunately, I have the benefit of just being able to play a handful of instruments. So honestly, for like drums, I might actually learn how to play drums just so we can have drums. Of course, that would suck because we can't just record everything together and do like live stuff. Stuff would have to be pre-recorded because I cannot play drums and bass at the same time physically. But I don't think we're doing anything live anytime soon, fortunately. So we would have the benefit of being able to do like layered recordings. You play piano in your 9 talent show? Nice. I've never really done talent shows because talent shows at the schools I've been at were always like either talent show, as in we're gonna have 20 people do the exact same thing, and it's not talented at all. They just think they can do stand-up comedy. Or it's all people doing the exact same thing. It's like, whatever. You know, like, it was cool the first few times, but like, when everyone sits there and plays Let It Be on the piano, like, wow. You did the same thing the last 5 people did. Good job. You know, it's like, they were very boring, to say the least. And half the time, the only good things that were in them would end up getting cut for time. You got top 8 out of 8? Dang, that sucks. Played your own song on piano? Nice. That's at least original. I'll be back again because I'm thirsty now. This one won't take as long. Boom. You didn't get 8th, but you were in the top 8, but not top 3. Interesting. Is this one gonna be the return of a good path? Take Clang. Something tells me it's not the return of a good path. Fighting type isn't great, But then I got Raichu and Boltund. Well, I got Trevenant Jolteon. I think I want Trevenant Jolteon. Because if I get multiple electric types, I think that's just running the risk of, like, Lightning Rod and messing with the strat. And Oranguru is good, too. Because with Instruct, you can get more super effective hits off per turn. I'm thinking about editing. I might have already said this, but I'm thinking about editing the reactions for the shinies I have so far into their video, because I think I have 4 now. Because I got Lurantis, Manectric, Fracture, and Beware. So that's 4. I usually do like groups of 4. I would wait until I get Tapu Fini, but Tapu Fini is not going in a big compilation. When's the last time I had a crush on someone? Oh gosh. 2023? No. Early 24. I don't know, school years are weird because semester 1 of the school year is the fall, and then spring semester is semester 2. It was a 23-24 school year for me. I think was like the last time I genuinely had a crush on someone. I did have some smaller crushes throughout the past few years, but they weren't anything that like I was actively about to act on. Okay, I think for the Fini video, assuming I get it soon, if I get shinies as extra phases before it, then I'll put those, assuming it doesn't go up to 4 again, I'll do them in batches of 4, unless the next batch of 4 would include Tapu Fini, in which case, if it is the next batch of 4, I'll just throw the 3 in somewhere else. But if it's anything less than that, I'll probably just do, like, the reactions leading up to the Fini. Because I don't care. Because I think 4 is the sweet spot for reactions. Because, like, it's not too many to where it's like, okay. Like, at this point, if I'm watching this, I better just see every shiny reaction you've had so far. With how I do my videos, like, I don't want a numbered video to not be a new video and instead just be repackaging. So, like, I thought about it at one point, but I am not doing a video. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to be doing a video where it's like a compilation of all my shiny reactions in the past year. Because this channel is almost a year old, fun fact. I'm not doing that because the numbering to the videos, like, that implies it's the next entry in, like, a TV show or something. I don't really want then to have a whole episode just dedicated to just putting every past reaction in. Now, there would be new stuff, Because there are some stream-only reactions that haven't made it into a video yet that would get their first light in a video. But still, I'm not doing it. But I am okay with compilations like the 4 shinies I already have from this hunt. I'll put those in a video. Because they're new reactions that haven't been in a video yet. It's a new video. Mom read your chat message and invaded your privacy. Oh. Yikes. Well, that was another thing I thought about. If I do get to the point where I have like memberships and stuff, I might have incentive. You have to go down for dinner. Dang. Stay. That's alright, don't worry. I think I'm slowly getting into the point of the day now to where more people are gonna be able to watch, so you know, don't worry, I'm sure someone else will come by in the meantime. And if not, I'm perfectly okay with just sitting with my own thoughts and yapping to the void. I don't care if it's a void or 1,000 people, I will yap. Bye. Take care. I just remember my badge quest video. I need to stop coughing. That's what I need. I used the 3D renders for Bramblin, and I think it was Palmy as well, just because they didn't have like 2D drawings of their shinies. That's funny. Okay, now best case scenario. Patricia switches. Worst case scenario. Ivy switches. Middle case scenario. Nobody switches. There was a scientist up ahead. Oh gosh, I'm cooked. Someone's gonna double swap or something. Bro, why is this thing not dead? How bulky is it? That's like the worst case scenario, too. I would use Leaf Storm, but I feel like I need to be Dynamax to get most out of it, right? Yeah, because it's Storm Drain. It's Storm Drain? Dang. Didn't know that. Oh, this thing is going to be buffing me the whole time. Nice. Okay, that did no damage, but you hit a Focus Blast. That's insane work. My friend sent me something asking just to prepare for something we're doing tonight. He's like, can you send me 2 truths and a lie about your character? But I read it as Sega because the character's name is Sage. Oh, I beat it. I didn't even, like, acknowledge that at all. Alright. No. 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 Ah, no Fini. Pretty decent team. I think honestly I can even get away with just swapping the second game at everything. Maybe. I need to see the pack. I mean, okay, left seems to be the best play. Because Jigglypuff is mid, but then the next two are pretty good. Alright, Venoshock and Draining Kiss. I don't know why I said it like that. It's all good. You're doing good. Still hunting, obviously. I'm on a pretty decent path for this right now. So I'm hoping it works out for me. You ate as quickly as possible. That's fair. You hope if you do get an over odds hunt, it won't be 2 times over odds. Good luck with that. My over odds hunts have been notoriously bad. Because Rayquaza, that almost went to 4 times. It was at 3.5 times odds, I think. Because it was at 356. Giratina, when I hunted that in Platinum, took like 57,000. For an 8192, 57,000. So I'm no genius, but I think 57,000 is way more than 8,000. Someone did around. Oh, I didn't mean to switch there. Oops. Someone did around 23,000 for a Sword and Shield hunt. I saw that. I also saw someone who apparently was at like over 1,000 something for a Dynamax Adventures hunt with Charm. And I'm like, that's crazy. And those are insane because, like, for those kinds of hunts to happen, like, that is unfortunate. Now, of course, there's a very easy way you can try to cheat the system. Which is, if you do one hunt and count your encounters for it, but without it being shiny, you go and hunt something else and get that shiny, then return to the hunt. You still need luck because the one thing being shiny versus another has nothing to do with it. But technically, if you want to do all that, you can technically only do the Dynamax Adventures for like the one hunt you want and are counting when the game doesn't end up paying out a shiny. So then with that logic, it does still give you fair shinies, you just don't realize it because one hunt is taking so long because you don't stick with it. So yeah, that's an important thing with shiny hunting. Stick with it, or if you have multiple hunts that you want to do, you can swap between them, but stick with them. Don't just like put one hunt on hold and then never go back to it. Wayfarer? Interesting. Yeah, that's a good place to be. Because you don't want so many hunts going on that like you're never gonna finish any of them. reach 1/5 odds. Nice. Yeah, you don't want too many hunts going on to where you're never going to finish any of them. But you know, it's also healthy to take a break from a hunt if it's actually mentally draining you to keep doing it actively every day. It's good to take a break. Or if you're doing something that requires specific weather and you don't really feel like changing weather just to do that hunt, then it's also fine. Like, I think when A-Drive hunted Shinx in the Isle of Armor, that hunt already went like stupidly long, by the way. But I remember when he would do other hunts during that, whenever he'd put it on hold, typically it said it was for weather reasons. So I assume he just didn't feel like changing the clock on his Switch to have the right weather and was okay with doing other hunts in the meantime. One day you'll be there for the entire stream. That's your life goal. I'll start a stream that's like 2 seconds long. You can show up and then it'll be over. No, at least 2.5 hours. Okay. That'll probably happen someday. This is actually a decent team to have going into the final thing. Now, I will say, I do kind of wish I let Amelia switch the Jigglypuff instead of me accidentally taking Gloom, but it's whatever. I will say I'm probably wrapping up after the next Tapu Fini. I know it's not 20 like I normally do, but I just want to do other things with my time, and it's getting kind of late for me. Not late. Like, it's getting to the point where, like, I've done this for a fair amount of time. I've hit my 3 hours. That's usually how long I've been doing these. I have 2 things with Venoshock. I just need to get this poison somehow. You're gonna get to 300, then you might go. Alright. Oh. Can I at least wait until you get caps? I mean, I can. I don't know exactly if that'll happen, though. I mean, I also don't want to just sit here doing nothing. We're at 281. Alright, it'll depend, because this Dynamax Adventure might not last that long. I don't know. I have a very decent... Okay, yeah, it might not last much longer, so... Can't make any exact promises. I can idle for a bit, but I also don't want to just sit here forever. Are you just live counting every encounter now? I will say be careful. I don't know if Nightbot is set up to block spamming, but it might see that as spamming. and try to delete messages. I think I might have even turned that off. I'm not 100% sure. Just because I think it got to the point where it thought people were spamming when they weren't. So I'm like, okay, buddy, you gotta calm down. One person in chat being very active does not mean they're spamming. I know I had to turn off like emoji filtering because it had really strict emoji filtering. Like if you use an emoji at all, it would block your message. But I had someone who loved doing emojis. So I was like, yeah, I'll turn that off. That's unfair for you. Alright, 110. Give me the shiny. Shake. Shake. Capture. Alright. Jigglypuff. No. Gloom. No. Credilli. No. And the last Tapu Fini of today. No. Didn't happen. Yveltal, that's cool, but I don't need it. I'm hoping if I get to the right point with this, I can get a very good path. Because I'm almost at 999 Dynamite ore, and I'm pretty sure that with how the punishment works for disconnecting before it does the second save for finishing, pretty sure if you have 999 Dynamite ore and you do resets, it actually gives you just enough, I believe, to at least reach odds. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. Because even if it costs 10 Dynamite ore for every single one, then, you know, that's not enough then because you're one short. But I think it starts off at less than 10 and works its way up to 10. So I might try to set up a good path because that at least guarantees the next 100. Or actually, no, that guarantees the next 200. Because it's 100 individual, but that still gives me 200 each game. What I like talking about? Pokemon, video games, Pokemon. I'm looking forward to making like higher quality videos or whatever. I'll get to work on the next video, which is going to be a compilation of the past 4 shiny reactions I had. That'll probably be out by Saturday. I'm going to have to work on a stream schedule. What else do I need to do? Work out thumbnail stuff still because I want to get custom thumbnails done, but I'm gonna pay for those. And first of all, I need to figure out how much she's gonna expect per thumbnail. Is the first important thing there. But then also, I don't really want to start those yet because I need money to pay for that. So I'd like to wait until I can get monetized or whatever to even think about doing that. And even then, I'm not using them for every video. I'm probably going to get like one every big video that I want to do, just for the sake of not costing too much money. Can you have a shout out on my next video? Do you pay for shout? So I don't typically do shout outs in my videos, but I do plan at some point to have something like that. So like I have had like in the movie videos, I don't think I did it for ZA. I think I stopped with ZA, or at least didn't feel like I needed it for ZA. But what I typically do in those is I have credits, which is usually just listing all the songs that I use, and then my special thanks to AbsolBlogs Pokemon, first of all, for inspiring me to make videos, specifically those style videos, and then a second one that's just a generic thank you to the viewer for watching. And then what I am actually hoping is if I unlock memberships, I think that might be one of the 2 perks I want to have for it. First thing I'd want to have, on top of just being a member, is members get early access to videos. And then the second thing would be, in every video, I would have my current members listed. I just feel like that's a fair way to make it to where it's like, you know, that's just one of the perks of being a member. So it's not impossible to get your name in a video then, if you really cared about having your name in a video. But also just because, like, my main thing as well is, like, if I just let people ask for it, then technically if I let one person have a shout out, then I have to give everyone a shout out. And at that point, that's technically what I do. It's just not as personalized. I usually do thanks for watching, you know, thank you to the viewers or whatever. Like, more generic so that it can apply to everyone. Just so it's not like favoritism or anything. Now, if someone does like genuinely help me or whatever for a video, like they actually contribute something of high significance, like if there's a specific hunt I want to do and there's like a very specific strat that makes it way easier to do, and someone reaches out to me and tells me that, you know, I'd give them a shout out because, you know, they actually made the hunt and video even possible. If I did like a collab, you know, shout out to the person I worked with. I don't know. I don't typically do them. They're mostly for like, right now, if I do them, it's for like very specific reasons. You don't know anyone else who has me as their favorite streamer? That's fair. Not many people know of me. Which kind of sucks because there's at least like in the YouTube streaming Pokemon community and stuff, or I guess just YouTube Pokemon community, there's usually at least the smaller scale, which is like, you know, anyone under 1,000 subs, really, even above that, like I would say push it to 3,000 subs. Like a lot of people within the 0 to 1,000 subs area or whatever, like they all typically know each other well enough to where if you mention someone to them, they'll probably know exactly who you're talking about. But I don't think even though I could technically fit in there, I don't think enough people know about me. Now, I'm sure I just need to get my name out there somehow. Best way to do that would be rating or get rated. But I don't know. I guess I could do a raid now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I can do a raid. I can do a little raid ski. That could be fun. But I need to see if anyone's actually live. I need to stop dying. You have a good tip for getting shiny Nickit that helps you get the shiny? What? Oh gosh. What would said tip be? Let's see. That's a shiny bot. This is Lego. Well, actually, no. It's Mega Bloks. That's a Gen bot. This is TCG. That's shiny hunting. Okay, shiny hunting. I like that idea. Yeah, so if it isn't obvious, a lot of Pokemon YouTube streams typically tend to be just Gen bot giveaways. Oh, that sucks. See, you also have to be specific sometimes, because some people, to avoid like bots and stuff or whatever, they'll do subscriber only chats, which is great if there's someone you're already subscribed to, but it sucks if you're trying to send a lot of people over, because, you know, that kind of forces them all to subscribe to even chat. It sucks. If you've done 500 encounters, a really good spot in the wild area where a bunch of them spawn, you can find or nick it basically every 3 minutes. Good to know. I'll see about it if I ever hunt Nickit. Of course, that's another thing. I don't know if I'm ever going to hunt Nickit, but I'll definitely consider that if I do hunt it. Oh, I found someone who's also doing Dynamax Adventures. Interesting. You're gonna do the whole Sword and Shield shiny decks? Nice. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, I'm just cooked by being on YouTube. There's not really a lot of options that aren't Gen bots. So maybe next time I'll have better luck. Not living shiny decks. That's fair. I think that's what A-Drive wanted to do, right? See, that was always funny with me. Like, when it had national decks, he was going for the entire national decks. But then, like, he never finished that, I don't think. And then Sun and Moon came out, he was at least going for the Sun and Moon decks, but I think he was still technically, by doing that, going for a national decks. I still don't think he got everything. And then Sword and Shield, he was going for a shiny dex. I don't think he got everything. And then he just kind of stopped after that. Anyways, I think I'm just going to end here. I'm going to plan out a schedule for future stuff. And, you know, fun things ahead, I guess. Anyways, I think I'm going to end here. Go work on some stuff. Yeah, all good. I was yapping anyways about stuff. Yeah, I'm ending now. So, if anyone else is here that has been talking in chat that just lurks, this is your confirmation as well. Anyways, bye.